Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today I got a short but very strong video for all you mid lane players. I want to teach you guys about all the lessons I just learned from watching Marlene replay. Basically, I watched one of his games. It was one of his pro matches where he dumpstered Bet Boom in the finals, and then I immediately went and played a Timbersaw game in ranked using everything I learned. And so hopefully I can teach you guys these lessons. Most of them are very simple, but incredibly effective. And so yeah, let's get into it, because I mean, this game was a dumpster, and you might be like, oh, it's some Giga Stomp. But honestly, if you look at the net worth, right, early on, I mean, it's not like the game is that crazy, right? Here, my Ricky carry is not having a good game. My Doom is doing well, but that's largely in part due to many of the ganks. He also just had a great start. But yeah, look at the net worth here. I mean, insane what we're putting up. And so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Also, I want to let you guys know that over on the Gamely website, I'm making a lot of awesome content there. Content that's a lot more educational than here on YouTube. Content that's really going to help you gain MMR. I also just started working with some new coaching students, and so I'm considering posting some of those sessions over there as well. So a lot coming to the Gamely website. If you haven't signed up, I recommend you do. It's pretty cheap. Click the link down below, and I'll see you guys there. Okay, so first things first, the laning stage, I got probably the easiest matchup for Timber in the current meta, which is Pango. So that obviously plays a part. You're going to notice in this laning stage, like, I'm auto-attacking the creep wave, I'm auto-attacking the Pango. Like, this was even a little bit cringe. I actually messed up at the start. I'm queuing for both of the melee creeps, but I'm playing like very much in this guy's face because I know once I hit level 2, I out-trade him. And so I have no problem taking like just basically whatever trade. However, if you're against something like Lina or Leshrac, you're going to have to play a lot more defensive. You're going to have to pull a lot of creep aggro and play for CS. So that's the only difference I would say early on. From there, in terms of starting items, I had 5 branches and tangos, just because you're a universal hero. I end up eating one of the branches, which you don't want to have to do, because the branches actually give you a lot of damage, but it's not the end of the world if you do, because one of the slots will be filled up by bottle at some point as well. Once you hit level 3, all you do, if possible, is spam your Q on the enemy. It does a lot of damage, and because stat loss reduces their primary attribute, it reduces their damage, right? So every single time you Q someone, they lose base damage, and this actually makes it easier to deny them, and it also makes their harass worse, right? So just keep that in mind. Casual Qs are very strong and should be abused early on. You should use it as much as you can. Almost like once you hit level 3, before the 2-minute mark, spam it, because you're going to be able to get your mana back on the water rune. And you'll notice I'm immediately basically back to full mana, and I'm once again hitting this Pango, like just autoing him, spamming my Q on him. So the next thing I learned from him was the importance of ganking. And I know that's like probably really basic for a lot of people, but personally, when I play mid, I really like to get a lot of levels before ganking. The thing is, if you get a rune, or frankly, you're just a level 6 Timber, you can get a lot done, right? And yeah, it's good to do after you shove a wave, because hopefully you'll be able to get the wave when you come back. So after I pick up this rune, or after I pick up these runes, I'm gonna look to gank, right? Honestly, it's better if the gank comes off of this bounty rune. Like, let's say you want to pick up this bounty rune, because just diving the safe lane is a lot easier, because I just feel like when the wave is pushed in, it's easy to collapse, and it's easy to dive as Timber because you have Timber Chain, right? All the trees are set up well, but ended up coming top, didn't find anything immediately, but I'm like, oh, the Pugnus actually still here. I can go over and clean him up. He didn't know I was in the area, and we one-shot him with the DD. From there, this is another thing I learned from him. This wasn't in the game that I watched, but basically, if you're full resources, you can TP to more ganks. I would almost never recommend this if you're low on resources, because using TP and ganking another lane is going to cause you to basically have to be AFK for a pretty long time until you get a rune. But we end up instantly coming bottom. This is just good map awareness. We see the Monkey King, who actually almost lived. Thankfully, he killed himself. Like, whew, I messed that one up. And yeah, we get a DD. The DD is OP on this hero, and I think we end up kind of 1v9ing here. This hero with DD is so stupid, because you're universal, right? So your base damage is really high, which is what DD amps. So we end up cleaning them up there, and we're going to head back to mid. So after we push in the mid wave, we get kind of lucky on the rune. However, even if I didn't get this rune, I would have picked up this bounty, and I would have looked top while picking up the bounty. I would just say, are they far up? And if they are far up, I'll probably go gank the lane. Because even if I don't get the kill, I'm hopefully opening up a little bit of creeps for the Ricky, or hopefully opening up his lane. But yeah, they ended up diving, and just because I have the mindset of nighttime ganks, I'm getting kills. And this is the main thing that I'm thinking about now. If it's nighttime, I'm probably gonna gank, because if they don't have wards, they're not gonna see me coming, right? and we end up killing off the Pugna. And Timber is just so strong at this point in the game as a mid because you have so much mobility compared to most mid heroes, right? You can just get around the map, get on top of heroes, as I think I find the SD as well, just one-shot them. And yeah, we maxed out our chain now, right? So 3 points in the queue, it's good for farming, it's just early game damage, good for pushing out the wave. Then we max out our chain, primarily just for mobility, and we get blessed here. We find 2 bounty runes, so we get to top ourselves off, and we're feeling absolutely incredible. In terms of items, mana boots with wand, raindrops, and then I'm gonna rush a Kaya. The point of the Kaya is that when it hits daytime, and when people start to hit level 6, which is around minute 10 to 11, Timbersaw falls off. People start to actually have the magic damage to kill you. Where early on, pre-level 6 on supports, it's very hard to kill Timber. And so I want to keep ganking pre-6, right? When this Rubik is not level 6, when the SD is not level 6, I'm going to make things happen when Timber is almost unkillable, right? Which is at this point in the game. So I end up going a little bit psycho here. I think I get nothing out of this. No real problem. Whatever, they can't really kill me. Do I kill Pugna here? No, okay. I ended up messing up a little bit. Oh yeah, I got doomed here. But this is fine, right? I was forcing things, and then unfortunately, exactly what I was talking about, the Rubik hits level 6, and that's almost what immediately kills me, right? I almost died just because he was able to make a play like stealing Doom and dooming me. But previous to that timing, you're just chilling. Now I get Seeds of Serenity, which is like the most broken item in Dota in my opinion. Neutral item, that is. I think this item is absolutely stupid and needs to be nerfed. And now that we have Kaya, we're gonna farm back to base. Obviously, you can keep ganking if the ganks are there, if the enemy is showing, but what I learned from Marlene is once you hit Kaya and it's daytime and people have ultis, it's a lot harder to just force plays. The game becomes a lot more stable for the enemy, even if they're losing hard. They can actually kill you. And so instead of forcing plays into them, you use the massive lead you've built up and the Kaya that you've farmed to take Ancients. And that's exactly what I do. I farm the Ancient rotation, I use all of my resources to do so, and I'm extremely happy now to go back to base. And this is such a great rotation, because now, let's say a fight breaks out, I've been able to farm, and the fight has broken out, and I have full resources. Plus, I have maybe an item timing, right? So I'm incredibly farmed, I'm ready to make a play. I think I TP mid here for the rune fight, sell off my branches, another reason why it's nice to go back to base, just to get to clean up your inventory. Fight breaks out, we kill the SD, nothing crazy, Pango dead, and it's an easy fight. And at this point, we're obviously just over leveled. Eternal Shroud online, and now I know the game is basically over because we won our lane, we hit our early rotations. I will admit, I got lucky on the runes this game. I found both of the runes. I got DD into Illusion, and of course, if you're gonna go 13-0, some luck comes into play, but let's be real, guys. A good laning stage, good mechanics are the main things here, right? Picking up the runes, I would have picked up the bounty runes and ganked anyway. Like, yes, I wouldn't have gotten an ultra kill bottom because the DD played a massive impact in that, but sure, but I would still absolutely be level 11 at worst, level like high level 10 here instead of like level 13. I'd still be cooking the game. Then we're back to our Ancients. On the Kaya timing, we buy Clarities because Clarities get 50% better when you have Kaya. And now that we have Eternal Shroud, I feel practically invincible. You know, I'm chaining into 4 heroes, which is just not something you can do without Eternal Shroud. But yeah, just constantly looking for the backline. Kaya plus level 12 is insane how much damage you do. Just one-shot the SD. One auto attack. I mean, I executed that well. I got an auto attack in as well, which is clean. But I mean, yeah, if you manage to hit this Eternal Shroud timing at a strong pace, it's nasty. And then you buy a Sange, which amps all of the healing you're getting from Reactive Armor and Seeds of Serenity, and you're practically untouchable. I mean, like, this play I'm making here, it looks so terrible, and honestly, if I popped my Arcane Rune, I probably would have killed Pugna. That's kind of cringe. Kind of cringe, Speed Dota. I could have just stood on top of him and nuked him when it was up. I actually messed up here. Like, Eternal Shroud is just such a broken item. I'm taking literally 0 damage. It takes them 3 heroes. Oh my god, I missed my ult. Oh, this guy was so dead. I actually would have killed them all if I didn't miss my spells and I popped my Arcane Rune right away. I would have killed literally all 3 of them. And that's how broken this hero is if you have a good game. I was like pinging the stacks. I'm like, ooh, stacks. Ooh, stacks. Get the kill, double kill, and yeah, I mean, this game is wrapped up. We steal their stacks. At this point, I was a little bit low, so I was like not fully inclined to dive. which I think is reasonable. Like, no need to throw the game. I say that, and then I instantly... I mean, if people line up near trees, your Q just does infinite damage. Like, look at this. Doosh! I almost died because of Netherward. This Netherward ability is so annoying. It's annoying until you have full HP and an Eternal Shroud, and then it's really not that annoying. And yeah, once again, same theme. Once I'm low, or if I'm like even missing a little bit of health, like if I'm missing 500, 600 health, I'll just farm back to base. And like, it's just good, man, because you farm Ancients ridiculously fast. And my levels, like sure, a lot of my levels is because I'm 13-0, but also a massive portion of that is because I've taken Ancients, and Ancients give the most XP in Dota. By quite a bit. And so yeah, that's gonna be all for today's video. Just wanted to talk about some of the main things I learned. Primarily spamming my Q at level 3. I know that sounds basic, but it's an important concept to have. Really trying to just get it out, because I'm gonna get my bottle. Then ganking during the nighttime, just putting pressure. Once you hit level 6, this level 7 I'd say is the main timing. It just makes chain far better. It makes it faster, it makes it go further, and it doubles the damage. But even with just level 6, if you pick up a rune, a bounty rune, or a power rune, you can go gank. Like the main gank he did in the game was the aggressive bounty rune into a gank. I think it was this bounty rune. He was on the other side. It works on either portion of the map. And then the big thing that I really took out of it was he owned the early game and he still slowed down the pace of the game, which most players would never consider. They're gonna be like, oh, I'm owning the game, let me just keep running at the enemy. When in reality, if I slow down the pace of the game slightly, I let the enemy run into us and I farm up an Eternal Shroud, it's very hard for them to do anything because they're not going to outfarm me when I'm a Kaya Timber, right? So it's basically just a guaranteed good play because of how good Timber is at killing Ancients with Kaya. It really is smart and it makes so much sense, especially during the daytime plus ulti timing. And if you put all this knowledge together, you can have games like this. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.